你说的这是30年前的旧事，一只猫不可能活过30年。你到底有什么秘密想要告诉我们
？Let's move on to the legend of the demon cat now. It's set in the Tang Dynasty. I know you have a particular admiration for that period. Explain why.
When I look back to the Tang Dynasty, I was shocked. Because, it's not only because it's a strong dynasty, with a beautiful civilization, and also because of that, the culture at that time put up with a lot of different things. So many foreigners, could have settled down in the city called Chang'an at that time. It's the capital of China. Now it's the Xi'an city. 2 million people live there. I consider that as the center of Asia, and also the world's metropolitan, something like that. And the people feel free to do the things they want to do. So that's why, that more than 10,000, the poeters, live in that city.
10,000 poets.
Poets, 10,000. And if the dynasty respect the culture, I consider it's a great dynasty, right? It's very obvious, and also that it's out of your imagination that even foreigner, the Koreans and Japanese, were the people from Central Asia, could be promoted as a government official in China.
Which I find extraordinary.
Yeah, it's really, no one would believe it. But if you look at the history, that has really happened. I think that, so that's why, I really admire that dynasty. I think that would be great if I would have a chance to show visually that what really happened. My wife, of course, that people know, she's been my producer for years. And we work closely, I always told her that's what I want to do. And so she's been very, very supportive. And so I say I want to make this movie, but I don't want to do that in front of the green screen. I want to build a huge city with trees. And she said, what? I understand that you want to make a film set as a city, but trees, what do you mean trees? So then, so that's the reason why we wait for 6 years, 2 years for design, 4 years for building. At the same time, we plant a lot of trees. Let me tell you why. Because, when I was young, I was in the countryside that, my job was to chop trees. I feel so guilty that what I did. So that's why, now it's my turn.
Come full circle.
I'm back, to plant trees and to make sure that, the trees will grow up nicely. So if you look at the film, you can see it doesn't look like a film set at all. It's a real city, the real place where people could live. It's great, it's a wonderful experience. Although that you need to be very patient. I work with 2 production designers who are very, very young. The first time I met with them, I said, this is a long time job. You guys have to be ready for that. And they say, we don't even have a girlfriend, so it doesn't matter. So now their kids are just like that. So that's why, we need 2 years to design everything. Just make sure that, everything's correct. But if you talk about correct, meaning that, we need to design something with our imagination. For example, the wall of the city is not exactly like, what we could see 1,000 years ago. I mean, because, I want the set to be kind of symbolic. You see the palace, and you see the wall. The wall looks like a moon, and the palace itself is in the shape of round. It's like a sun. So, we just talking until that we decide that's it.
And how much did it cost to build that enormous set?
Well, it's separately, because the money that they put to build a set is tremendously big, not the amount of that, but it's not included into the production cost. It's different.
So the two separate budgets.
Yeah.
It's a period of Chinese history, but you actually developed this from a Japanese written novel. Is that correct?
Yes, because this writer is almost in my age. That I think he's admired, the Chinese culture very strongly. That he told me a story that the first time he traveled to China, I think it's like 30 years ago, the time I start my career. And he went to Xi'an, and he told me that he doesn't know why that he cried. So then 30 years later, when the set is ready, so I just invite him to go over there, and I saw the tears in his eyes again. He said that is amazing. Unbelievable that I spending 17 years to write this novel. Obviously, at the same time, he's doing something else. But you see that. I want to say that the culture that we shared is so powerful.
You picked Zhang Rongrong as Yang Guifei, and we know she is a mix. And is there a specific reason why you pick her as Yang Guifei?
According to the history, that at least one version of is that this Lady Yang was blood mixed beauty. It's very natural in Tang Dynasty. Even the royal family has have Xianbei blood. It's not a pure Han. So I think that Lady Yang is representative the civilization of Tang. So that shows that the Chinese culture at that time could embrace the different people, different race. At that time, it was very, very natural thing.
What's the relation between the cat and the story? Why you choose the cat, the name, the cat part of your story's name?
The cat.
Yeah. The cat, of course, that you will see the cat in the movie that sometimes it's real, sometimes it's a visual effect, but it looks like a same cat. So obviously, it's not only a cat. Sorry that I cannot tell you more, but it's not really a cat.
How many cats were used in the making of the movie?
Okay, so
Thank you.
5 or 6, all in the color of black, with different eyes. Sometimes we want a cat to be angry, or to be very, very nice. Soft. But they're all very well protected. We have people taking care of them every day, including my son.
I wanted to ask you what genre this film is, because when I read the notes, it's a detective story, it's a love story, it's built on an epic. What on earth are you trying to do?
I think this is an epic at the end of the day, that with the elements of the detective story, of course, that is love, revenge, and so on. But the center is the cat, which can speak So that's the center of the story. That therefore is also a fantasy.